Hello. Okay, I'm doing another video today. This one I got this one all spiked out. So I feel like this is better organized. I decided to use my computer this time because wider screen. My cat is outside my door yowling. He wants me to let him in. I don't think he'll come in if I. 1 second. Coco, stop yelling. Okay, that should have fixed that problem. No, really, all it takes is me saying, Coco, stop meowing, and then he stops meowing. Or I don't know, I guess it's like, never mind. Nope. But, yeah, not all the time it works. Sometimes I get like a pause before another meow or something, so I know he hears me. He's having his like zoomies, like where he feels super energetic and he can't like get it out, so he'll probably go running up a wall or something, because he likes to try to do that. Okay, so this video is gonna be things that I feel have contributed to my transition. So there's not really like an order of things. I just listed a bunch of, not like a bunch. I listed like five like main things. And some I'm sure contributed more than others. There's some things I left out on the list, and if I think of like enough other things, because it does take some reflection on my part. So if I think of enough other things, then I'll make another video like a part two. But this is going to be like part one, or maybe only the only video on this subject. I'm not sure yet. So the first thing I have on here is mom dying when I was 9. My adopted mom. I'm adopted from Ukraine, and maybe the adoption and whatever trauma I experienced. I was adopted from Ukraine. Whatever trauma I experienced in Ukraine with my birth parents might have contributed. I'm not sure. I don't like have memories of Ukraine. I know my two sisters. My oldest probably remembers more. I was 3 when I came to the United States, so I mean I don't like have memories of Ukraine. But I do have memories of mom. I was 9 when she died. So I feel like she died before I had my first period, so that's the thing. Um, I don't know. I don't remember my first period itself being that scary. I know I hear about stories about like a woman who thought they're dying or something because no one told them, to explain blood coming out of, that area and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just, I remember thinking, oh, I'm becoming a woman now, or something like that. And I wasn't even upset. Like that's, you'd expect me to be upset with all the dysphoria, but I wasn't. It wasn't the first period, it was like the following periods, like having to deal with having a period like that, like, at school and stuff. And then I remember like another thing that was traumatic for me was when I decided to first try. I'm not gonna get into like real detail, but when I tried to use a tampon for the first time, and I basically had to figure it out myself because dad doesn't know anything. I had two sisters, um, and all they did was laugh at me because it was hurting, like it was painful to insert, and it freaked me out, and it just took me forever, and I was very upset. Like it took me a long time to figure out how to use it, like on the first try. Like it took a long time to like properly use the thing, and it was very painful. So, and that's all the detail. I'm gonna get into that without getting too, NSFW about that because I don't wanna. But I don't know, it was just that, and then also like going through puberty without like a mom. Like I know that, like, I guess, I've also heard about people who say that their parents didn't really talk to them about that kind of stuff. And I can see, obviously that's an issue, but like I didn't even have a chance for mom to like have a talk with me or just like anything like that. So dad didn't like really talk to me about that. I think the only thing was he went out to go bra shopping with me when either one of my sisters, or it might have also been like a classmate, someone like my chest was starting to develop and they could see my nipples or something through my shirt, or something. and they said I needed to wear a bra, and so Dad just decided, okay, now's probably a good time to probably start getting a bra. That didn't last long because I hate bras. They're very uncomfortable for me. I just don't like the constricting feeling on the chest, and I don't know anything about them because I didn't like really wear them that much. I think I tried it, and I did not have a fun time shopping for them, and I didn't like wearing them, so I just stopped and definitely didn't wear them during my transition. And I don't like really wear them now just because I think it's dumb. I barely have a chest anyways, so I don't have anything to support. I didn't get top surgery, but T as in testosterone, it might have affected my chest development because I started it at like 13, and I think that breasts develop throughout your teenage years or something. I'm not sure the exact like age timeline, but yeah, it might have affected that for me. I'm not sure. So, um, that's like the first thing on the list. Basically, the lack of having a mother figure in my life. The dad became my role model because mom was no longer there. So yeah, that's the first thing. Okay. Thing number two is okay. So certain incidents from when I was younger, and I'm not even sure. Like this would have been before the age of 13 and maybe before the age of 10. I'm not sure. But it's like within that like time frame of my life. So the first incident, it was some sort of like a theater, not class, but like well, we had like classes, like rehearsals and stuff to prepare to do some sort of event at a middle school. Although I wasn't in middle school at the time, the event was just happening at the middle school. I think it was like a summer program or something, and I was always a tomboy when I was younger. And I had a I remember I had a group of guys that were like my friends. And I just they didn't know I was a girl apparently because at some point during the rehearsal they split up the guys and girls because I guess they were gonna teach them different things for like the dance thing or whatever it was, and I obviously had to go along with the girls, and I remember feeling very embarrassed and kind of like ashamed because the guys were looking at me like the friends I had were looking at me all confused, and after that they no longer hung out with me. Like that was like changing point, and that really sucked because I don't think whether you're male or female should dictate who you can be friends with, and the fact that like I don't know, me being a girl bothered them so much that they decided they didn't want to hang out with me. So that's the first incident I could think of. The second incident that comes to mind is this happened in elementary school. I got pantsed by a group of guys, or a group of boys, because we were all of us were children at that time, and it was because they didn't know what, or they claimed they didn't know whether I was a guy or a girl, and I guess, I mean, I was telling them I'm a girl, but they didn't believe me, and so they pantsed me. So I told my sister, and then she went and beat them up or something. I don't know. She chased them. She's like kind of overprotective or something, which was, I don't know, like I don't condone beating people up, but it's kind of like instant karma, something like that. But yeah, I just remember that was kind of like not a good memory I have, um, and that was extremely embarrassing for me, obviously. And I think the reason why they pantsed me was because I'm a tomboy and I dress different than the other girls, so I think it was just bullying. But I don't know, maybe they were confused about what gender I was. I have no idea. It wasn't like, I don't know, but obviously they wouldn't take the fact that I was telling them I'm a girl, I'm not a guy, but whatever. So, um, oh, hmm. Okay, so number three on the list is the fact that I was always a gender non-conforming kid, despite into the fact of, so I was always gender non-conforming, and I was like the fact that I was gender nonconforming never bothered me, but I did get bullied for it. Either kids calling me ugly or kids trying to get me to wear makeup. I remember I got surrounded on the playground like during lunchtime at elementary school, and they tried to like force a bunch of makeup on me. Like a bunch of girls surrounded me. They thought it was all funny and stuff. And at the time, I was pretending that I thought it was funny too, but I didn't think it was funny. And then also just like the pressure to like wear like at the time it was like jeans or like but like I don't know. I just remember like clothes that I was not comfortable wearing, and like I just remember like I don't know. There's just pressure to dress a certain way, and I didn't want to. Obviously, I mean there were times where I would like say I had enough and I wear girls' clothes for like one day, but then be so uncomfortable. So as soon as I get home, I change back to boys' clothes, and then go to school again wearing boys' clothes. Like I did not want to wear like girls' clothing. So there was that. Oh yeah, and then there was also like I had to go to church when I was a kid, and mom always wanted me to wear like either a skirt or a dress on Sundays. I did kind of get away with not doing it just on regular Sundays, but like on holidays like Christmas, I think it's like Christmas Eve, there's some church service there. Easter, definitely Easter. Like those big types of services, she'd always try to get me to wear dresses or skirts. And I would throw tantrums. And I do remember some other times I was forced to, and other times the tantrum was enough to just say, okay, wear whatever you want. But I don't know, that's like something I remember, the expectation to dress up for these events and in a way that I was not comfortable dressing. Um, and I remember in fifth grade, our teacher had some sort of a tea thing or like a tea party thing, and the guys had to wear like more formal guy clothing. I forgot if it was like a little suit or just like a shirt and tie and nice pants or something like that. And then the girls had to like wear like at least a skirt or maybe even a dress. And I also didn't have a tantrum. I more like just cried or something. And the teacher let me. She did actually, after talking to her, she did let me wear what the guys were wearing instead of having to wear what the girls were wearing. But I remember before that I would wear the skirt and wear pants underneath it because I didn't like my legs being bare like that. That was uncomfortable for me, and I didn't like the skirt. And but yeah, I mean, after talking to her, she was nice enough to me to let me wear what the guys were wearing, and that was a really good thing. But there was still the time before she let me that I had, like at least once or twice I had to go and wear a skirt, and that just felt very embarrassing. I just didn't like it. Um, So that's number three. Number four on the list is the fact that, oh yes, I got bullied for being a gender non-conforming kid by other kids before transition, which I kind of already went into. But then I noticed that as soon as I started transitioning, I stopped getting bullied and people stopped thinking the way that I was dressing was weird or something. Like I just became a normal guy. Um, like when I start to pass. There was like a little time period when I probably didn't like look like a guy or sound like a guy. But like I think the only thing I really got bullied for was this one girl refused to call me by my chosen name. I was going by Damon. Until all the other girls pressured her to do it, and I kind of feel bad for that because her argument was that it wasn't my legal name and she didn't have to call me that name. I don't know. Like I don't really know what to think about it because it's like I don't know. So I don't know, and I think she also didn't like me in general. So there's that too. Um, but yeah, after I transitioned, I was no longer being bullied for the way I dressed. I felt like I was a normal guy, and then obviously when I detransitioned, I feel like I stick out like a sore thumb again. I'm not I'm going by Tanya, so I'm not just another dude, but I'm not conforming to the stereotypes of the standards that society holds women up to. I just like this or I don't know. I just I wear guy clothing and I have short hair and then I've got this little thing because I thought that looked more masculine. Yeah. So okay. So last thing on the list, last thing I'll talk about for this video is my sexuality as a lesbian. This one also contributed to like when I was deciding to transition. So I started having crushes on girls. I remember there was this one girl I had a crush on in fifth grade. Like I wanted to be seated next to her, and I was trying to act all like gentlemanly towards her and stuff like that. Like, you know, asking her, "Oh, do you have a pencil? I have a pencil," or like, just like trying to be overly helpful to her and wanting to be best friends with her. And obviously that didn't work out. But yeah, I don't know. Like I just remember having crushes on girls and lack of crushes on guys. I did not understand why girls were attracted to guys because I didn't see them that way. And I still don't understand the like dynamic between women and men and like romantically and sexually and like all that stuff. Um, but I mean, I know it's a thing because it's it's the more dominant sexuality, heterosexuality, because that's how the species keeps going. But yeah, and like on my list, let's go to this list. On the list, I also, put down that I was never bothered by my sexuality. I never talked to dad about it or stuff up until I was deciding to transition. But I just remember I didn't really think much of it. I had never really heard about like people saying being gay is bad or stuff like that. So it was never in my mind that the way I feel is bad. I do maybe like obviously I hadn't really seen any sort of media on it. Like really, I don't remember at least. So I didn't have any formed opinions of it, and I wasn't really thinking along the lines of, oh, I want to marry her or like stuff like that, or even like sexual thoughts. It was just a crush. It was just like, oh, I think she's cute or something. I don't know. It was just like it's. I mean, I was more busy just being a kid, and occasionally I would have a crush on someone. That's what it was. And then I remember in middle school, I my pastor was openly out as a lesbian at my church, and I wanted to talk to her because I, obviously was having crushes on girls, and then I forget exactly how it came up, but gender went into the mix of the conversation because I was identifying as a butch lesbian. I know I'm pronouncing the butch word wrong. My family tells me that I pronounce it wrong all the time, and I just like I can't get my mind around to pronounce it correctly. But I hope you know what I'm trying to say when I say like a masculine lesbian. And I went to talk to the pastor about my sexuality and stuff because I was also like going to the library and getting books on like, lesbian, bisexual, and gay, and um, oh, it might have also been because like the books back then they would have that, and then they'd have one last like really short chapter at the very end of the book on transgender. Like 90% of the book was about sexuality, and then there was this like one chapter at the end of it that was like talking about trans people. That's not the case now. Now it's like most of it's about trans people. There's barely like not there's trans is more, I guess, prevalent than like in the media obviously than like gay and lesbian stuff. I don't know. Like that's just my experience of it. So yeah, I went to talk to her and she introduced me to a trans guy who was like in his 30s, and he is the one who got me to go to Louis Children's Hospital because they had the gender development program for youth, and so I guess he knew them. He obviously was not a youth; he was an adult, but he probably knew like the resources in the area and stuff like that, and that's basically how that happened. The whole thing happened quickly. Like I think like I met her at the church and I talked to her, and then she arranged for me to meet him. And then he just kind of like he became like a friend. Like I would invite him over for dinner with the family. He would talk to my dad about his experiences with being a trans man and stuff like that, and I felt I could relate to him, and I wanted to be like him. I wanted the beard. I didn't want to be bald though. But I definitely wanted the beard, and I wanted to be masculine. Like I looked up to him. And then obviously, that led to me going to Louis Children's Hospital, and that eventually led to me getting testosterone. So and transitioning. So yeah, that's kind of like the things that I feel like contributed to my transition. If you guys have any thoughts or questions, just leave them down in the comments below. If you want me to do, well, actually, I have to reflect more to decide if I have any other things. Those are like the main things I have. I realized that dysphoria wasn't very prevalent before I transitioned. Like, yeah, I was uncomfortable with like girls' clothing and like being called a lady and stuff, like even before I transitioned, but I don't like I don't remember having any sort of awareness of my body in any sort of gendered way besides maybe the period. Like I wasn't like really paying attention to my chest until someone else brought it up. Or like the fact I don't know, I wasn't like it took until like maybe high school for me to get a real awareness of men and women being different, like bodily. Like like obviously I knew it like in like middle school because you had sex ed and stuff like that, but like it just wasn't like and maybe even sort of in elementary school just because obviously experiences I had, but like I don't know, the dysphoria was not as prevalent. Or I don't know, maybe it took a different form. I don't know. Okay, well, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. If you guys like this video, just leave a like, maybe even subscribe. It's up to you. And then you can check out my other videos. I have like a lot of videos. I only have this is the third video in relation to detransition. Um, most of my other videos are like gaming and stuff like that, and then I'm gonna be posting videos of like various Etsy products I have because I'm trying to get a business going. But yeah, I just want to thank you guys for watching this video. And just stay tuned for more. I'm depending, I'll definitely be getting videos out on a weekly basis, but like so far it's been a daily basis, so it'll be frequent enough. And just like also let me know if there's any specific topics you want me to talk about. Like I'll think of videos too, but if you have any questions or anything you'd like me to address in other videos, that's also very helpful for me. Okay, bye bye.